Welcome back, my prepared friends. You're tuned into the Modern Warrior Project podcast, your go-to resource for all things survival and preparedness. I'm Shane Bivens, your guide on this journey towards resilience and readiness. Today, we're embarking on the second episode of our informative Bugout consideration series. This series is designed to equip you with the knowledge and strategies you need to effectively navigate any survival situation. Today's focus, route planning. We're going to dissect this topic, explore its nuances, and underscore why it's such a pivotal part of your survival strategy. Route planning isn't just about knowing how to get from point A to point B. It's about understanding the terrain, anticipating potential hazards, and ensuring you have contingency plans in place. Most importantly, it's about having multiple routes to your destination. So why is that essential? We're going to delve into that and more, providing you with practical insights that you can apply to your own survival planning. Before we hit on today's topic, I want to take a moment to talk about the Modern Warrior Project. Whether you're a seasoned prepper, a military enthusiast, or someone just starting on their preparedness journey, our website is a treasure trove of resources designed to equip you with the knowledge and tools you need to face any challenge that comes your way. We're not just about information, though. At the Modern Warrior Project, we understand that having the right gear can make all the difference when the chips are down. That's why we offer a carefully curated selection of bug-out gear and survival equipment in our online store. From first aid kits to tactical backpacks, our products are chosen for their quality, durability, and cost saving for you, the consumer. By purchasing from us, you're not only getting top-notch gear, you're also supporting our mission to educate and empower individuals to be prepared, resilient, and ready to respond when disaster strikes. So after today's podcast, I encourage you to head over to our website at modernwarriorproject.com and check out what we have to offer. Remember, preparation is the key to survival, and we're here to help you every step of the way. Now let's get started with today's topic. So buckle up, friends. It's time to chart our course and venture into the world of strategic route planning. Now, when we talk about a bug-out operation, we're talking about the need to leave your current location due to an immediate threat, be it natural or man-made. The goal is to reach a safer location, your bug-out location, where you've either stashed supplies or have access to resources for survival. But getting there, that's where the challenge often lies. Understanding that, let's dig into the concept of route planning. It's not just a footnote in your survival strategy, it's a critical element that demands careful thought and meticulous planning. Why is it so crucial? Well, consider this: emergencies and disasters are by nature unpredictable. You might have a well-trodden path to your bug-out location, but what happens when the unexpected strikes? Roads could be obstructed, bridges could collapse, or your usual route could be fraught with danger due to hostile forces. So how do you navigate this unpredictability? The answer lies in planning multiple routes, but not just any routes. These should be well thought out pathways that account for a variety of potential scenarios. For example, you might have one route that's the quickest, offering the most direct path to your destination. This would be ideal in situations where time is of the essence. Then you could have another route that prioritizes safety, perhaps avoiding major roads or potential conflict zones. This would be your go-to in high-risk situations where avoiding danger trumps all other considerations. And what about a route that's the most discreet? This could be a less obvious path, one that helps you maintain a low profile and avoid drawing attention to your movements. This would be particularly useful in scenarios where stealth is key. By having these varied routes at your disposal, you're not just preparing for one specific type of emergency. Instead, you're equipping yourself with the flexibility to adapt to any situation that comes your way. Remember, survival is not just about strength or speed, it's about adaptability. The more adaptable you are, the higher your chances of survival. Now, let's look into some of the key considerations you should keep in mind while planning your routes. First and foremost, consider the distance you'll be traveling. This isn't just about how far your bug-out location is. It's also about understanding the terrain and the challenges it may offer. Are there mountains or rivers that you'll need to navigate? Are there areas prone to flooding or landslides? These factors can greatly influence the time and effort it takes to reach your destination. You need to consider how visible you'll be on your chosen route. High visibility can make you a target, so if possible, opt for routes that offer cover and concealment. This is particularly important if you're on foot or a bicycle. You're also going to want to consider weather and time of the year. The seasons and weather conditions can have a major impact on your route. A path that's passable in summer might be blocked by snow in winter. Similarly, heavy rains can cause floods, making certain routes impassable. Road conditions, the state of the roads, is another crucial factor. Poorly maintained roads can slow you down or damage your vehicle. So while you may still opt for some of these routes, it needs to be factored into your timing of the route for planning purposes. Population density. In a crisis situation, densely populated areas can become hotbeds of activity. You have to remember that people will be scared, desperate, and potentially dangerous. Panic can lead to chaos and, in some cases, violence. For instance, if resources like food and water are scarce, there may be fights or riots as people scramble to secure what they need. There's also the risk of crime increasing, as some may take advantage of the situation to loot or harm others. In addition, if the crisis is due to a contagious disease, densely populated areas could have higher infection rates. Navigating through such areas can be risky and slow you down significantly. You could get caught up in a violent situation or stuck in traffic if everyone is trying to leave the area at once. That's why, if possible, it's best to choose routes that avoid these areas. Look for back roads or less traveled highways. Of course, this isn't always possible, especially if you live in a city. In that case, your best bet is to plan your route carefully, considering factors like the time of day and the specific areas of the city you'll be passing through. Communication. In some remote areas, you might lose cell phone reception. Consider this in your planning. In remote areas, cell phone reception can be spotty or non-existent. This can pose a significant challenge, especially if you're relying on GPS for navigation. Without a reliable signal, you could easily get lost or stranded. That's why it's important to have backup plans in place. For instance, you should definitely invest in physical maps of the area and learn how to read them. They don't rely on a signal and can be a reliable source of navigation. Satellite phones are another option. They use satellites instead of cell towers so they can provide coverage in places where regular phones can't. However, they can be expensive, and in the event of a satellite down scenario, they won't work either. Two-way radios can also be useful, especially if you're traveling in a group. They can help you stay in contact with each other even if you can't get a cell signal, and ultimately they are more convenient in this scenario, assuming they are within range. Next, think about fuel stops. This is especially crucial if you're traveling by vehicle. You need to know where you can refuel and how often, or at a minimum, how much fuel you'll have to transport to make it there directly. Remember, in an emergency situation, fuel might be scarce or non-existent, so plan your route with fuel efficiency in mind, as well as options in the case it's not available. You should also consider rest stops. You're human after all, and you're going to need to rest and replenish your energy. Identify safe locations along your route where you can stop, rest, eat, and perhaps even spend the night if needed. Another important consideration is the availability of resources along your route. Are there places where you can resupply food, water, or medical supplies? Are there safe water sources you can use? Local knowledge. Nothing beats local knowledge. If you're familiar with the area, you'll know the shortcuts, the safe places, and the areas to avoid. If you're planning a route in an unfamiliar area, try to gather as much information as you can beforehand. Lastly, always have a contingency plan. No matter how well you plan, things can go wrong. Roads can be blocked, bridges can collapse, and resources can be depleted. Your contingency plan should include alternative routes and strategies to overcome these obstacles en route. A good way to approach this is often identifying roads that can tie your multiple routes together along the way. Have these all either mapped or documented so that any time along the route you can adjust if needed. Some other important traits are flexibility and adaptability. Your survival may depend on your ability to change plans on the fly and navigate through unfamiliar terrain. Having multiple routes planned in advance gives you options, but it could still all go south. Get comfortable now with navigating on the fly with a map, and ideally a co-driver. I know that all of this can seem overwhelming. The world of preparedness is vast, and it can feel like there's always more to learn, more to do. But remember, preparedness isn't about achieving perfection. It's about doing the best you can with what you have. You might not be able to account for every possible scenario. You might not have all the resources you'd like, but that doesn't mean you can't make significant strides in ensuring your safety and the safety of those you care about. Start with what you can do. Focus on the most likely scenarios first. Build your skills, your supplies, and your plans bit by bit. Every step you take, no matter how small, is a step towards greater resilience. And remember, you're not alone in this. There are communities out there like us, the Modern Warrior Project, that are here to help. We're all in this together, so keep going, keep learning, and keep preparing. You've got this, and we've got your back. Thank you for joining us on this journey. Stay safe, stay prepared, and we'll see you in the next episode.